Hi everyone, you're with Lucy at Art Shed Angel in Dungay in Australia, and I wanted to show you a really simple project, which is this one here, and it's using up a lot of the things that we've created. You may have watched one of my other videos, which is about jelly prints and also taking images with your jelly plate. So I have lots and lots of papers here. Now before I start, I'd also like to say to you that if you really like my videos, can you please subscribe to my channel, and also have a look at my live videos every week in my Facebook group that I do with Jolene Payne, which is Live Art Journaling and Self-Development. So the link is down below, and we'd love you to come and join. And if you do join, there are some extra little things that I put in the group, like things like this, which is a paper I designed, and in the group there is a free download of that paper, so you can come and download the file and print it onto whatever you like. Now the fun thing is you can print things on just white paper, or this one here is a craft paper, so we're going to be using that in this project. We're also going to be using some jelly prints that I've done. This is some prints that I've done with a stamp that I created. There's also a video there on making your own stamps in my group Live Art Journaling and Self-Development. These are some just basic things. So this is really a project where you can use up your scraps, and I'm going to use her eyes in this case. Now, all you really need for this project is some gel medium, and this is the thicker one, which is really, really good to use because it makes it quick. And I am using a square punch, which is about 3.5 centimeters or 1.25 inches. Now, you do not need to have a punch. You can just cut with scissors. You can just cut your paper, make yourself a little template, and cut it out yourself. I'm doing this size because this is the size I have, but you could do the squares in any size you like, and that would work as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some punched out areas, and because I can't punch close, I'm going to choose some bits I want to punch out. So I'm just going to spend the first moment collecting together my images. Just cut that off. I think her mouth and her nose look good too, so I'm going to also cut them out, and then I'm just going to go through and have a look at what else I've got. And here we have another little face. Now these, if you have a look through my videos on my page, on my YouTube page, there are videos on how to do these processes, and they're lots and lots of fun. So this is a way of using them up, because we tend to make lots of papers, even these little sections like this, or words and things like that. So this, you want to create lots and lots of paper. So I'm going to go through, and obviously I really love this one with the leaves. This one here has been done with leaves and stamps that I've made. So we just need to cut out lots of squares. It's a little bit time consuming, but it's a lovely way to use those jelly plate prints that we collect, because otherwise we end up with stashes of paper and we don't do anything with them. So I'd love to see what you do, and if you join our group Live Art Journaling and Self-Development, you can actually also post some of your work there to show us, which would be great. So I'm just going to, now I don't throw away that paper, because that will, the rest of the paper, because I know that I can use it again. And I particularly love these little flowers from the stamps that I made. Oops, we'll do this one first. And this is just watercolor paper. So I've done my jelly prints on all different kinds of paper, all different kinds of textures, and I'll cut that one off to the side like that. Oh, I had things on the back there as well. This is what happens when you use both sides of your paper. So I might use her, she looks terrific. So don't plan this one out too much. I don't want you thinking all the time, oh, I want to do, this is the actual picture I want. I'm just using sections without a lot of planning, because it's the different colorways and that makes this really work and makes it pop. So you can see I'm just not thinking about it. Part of what we need to do is stop thinking too much, stop planning too much. So I'm just cutting squares. Look at some of this beautiful metallics, which looks great. And I'm even going to do some of these words here that I've done. And that one, because words do actually look good. I'm actually really enjoying doing jelly print words. Okay, now we've got my printed paper. So what I'm going to do with the printed paper is I'm going to take sections of flowers. This is quicker if you have a punch, but please don't not do it because you don't have a punch, because you can easily cut your paper out. The craft knife, or so you can see we're just, you will not believe how quickly you can do this whole process. So I'm just going to cut some of this away. I do love printing onto this craft paper rather than just the white. Okay, and now I've got my white one. You can see how completely different it looks, the same design. One looks really earthy and one looks really vibrant and bright. It's almost like music listening to this punch, isn't it? Okay. I didn't want to actually prepare this one earlier because I wanted to show you the whole process so you realize how quickly you can actually end up with a lovely image. Oops, that one was no good. Okay, so I don't know if we've got enough yet, but I'm going to turn my page. I'm going to collect all these together. I pretty much want them to stay the way that I have them up, but if they've got something on the back, that won't matter. So let's open a new page. So what we're going to do, you can use a credit card or use a palette knife, but what we want to do is we just want to put gel medium on our page. So you're not going to stick them one by one, you're going to stick them quite quickly. So I don't do it too thick. Do a nice thin layer of gel medium on the page. Put that in water. And now is where the fun begins. I'll just make sure I've got the lid on that. So now I'm going to start sticking. So all you need to do is, I'm leaving a border around it because I think I'm going to do something with it later. I'm not trying to measure or anything, I'm just going to start sticking them next to each other. And I'm very randomly choosing them too, by the way. They need to have a little push down. Oops, I might need a little bit more gel medium there. Just got to make sure you've got gel medium, and you've got to work reasonably quickly so that it doesn't dry before you get them down. So you can use glue and stick them all individually, but I really wanted to show you a way to make a very quick background. Okay, you can see I am not planning this, other than I probably wouldn't put the same color down there, I would put it in an opposing area. And maybe that in there. And I really like those eyes, so I'm just going to find a face and put a face there. Keep pushing them down to make sure they stick. Now I've got the eye there. I'll put some words next to the eye. You need to give them a little push down. The gel medium will stick them. Oops. If you think they're not sticking in certain spots, just have a little brush ready to add a little bit of medium. Now, I think I'm going to use this eye here to coincide with that one. So what fun this is, just sticking squares down and creating a really simple collage. Making sure you're pushing them down so that the gel medium, and working quickly, that you don't want that gel medium to dry. Probably got way too many here. And kind of spreading them out. Now you can see I am not planning this, and that's what I pretty much like most about this particular activity. I'm not planning what I'm putting anywhere. I'm just putting them down. And it ends up really pretty. Sometimes you don't need to think about everything very deeply. You just need to start putting things down. Now I'm just running out of a bit of gel medium there, so I'm going to put a little bit more down. Okay. Now the leftover gel medium around the outside will dry anyway, so I'm not particularly worried about that. Oh, that's the space we need a dragonfly. And I might put her mouth up there. A little bit more of gel medium up there. So this is fantastic fun. Okay, get that hand and flatten it out, and a few more up the top here. Now to finish the page, I'm going to cut some in half to put down the side of the spine here. And what a fantastic way to use up your pages. Okay, nearly done. Now that's a page almost done in record time, but we're not finished, so if you have the time, please wait just for this to dry. Now do make sure you give it a little good push down. If there's any spots that are looking like they might come up, just give them a little bit of extra gel medium just to make sure they don't. But then that can kind of look interesting too with the little corners coming up. You could actually even do little folded corners and have little things behind, which is a really nice thing to do as well. Now, I'm going to use my heat gun to dry off this page, but I do suggest that you actually let it dry naturally. A little bit more gel medium under there. Okay, you can see that I have the page all dry now. So now I'm going to use my Posca pen and I'm going to use quite a thick Posca pen. Make sure it's nice and working well because we want nice wet lines. So I'm just actually making sure I've got the right pen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing lines where they join like a quilt. Now this is why it needs to be very dry, because you can wreck your Posca pen using wet, or if you're using wet gel medium. So you're just going to go through. Oh, there is a bit of gel medium on that. So if you get gel medium on your pen, please really clean it off before you go any further. This is because I'm not really allowing drying time. And don't try to make these lines straight. Don't use a ruler. What you want to do is end up with like almost stitching lines. You can see I make some thicker. I'm going to take them right from the sides. I'm just a bit avoiding a little bit of gel medium here. Okay, so you just keep doing your lines. I'll just do them quick. I kind of like them to be a bit wobbly. I don't want them to be consistently, and that's why I'm doing some as outlines and some as lines across, and you can see. Okay, so we've done that. Now I want to do some things like a little heart in some of the plain ones, and maybe a heart over here as well. Now you can draw little things in there, or you could have stick other little pictures in there. I'm also going to do some stitching. So some of the squares I'm going to do some stitching around. I'm not doing it everywhere because I want the stitches to be a kind of a highlight. So don't do your stitches completely everywhere, although you can if you want to make it look truly like a quilt. Reminds me of the movie The American Quilt. And I will outline that, but my gel medium is still a little bit wet. So I have that, and then I'm going to use my Signo white pen, and I'm going to do some little hand done areas. Just to highlight some spots. Maybe some little extra things on the flowers. So this is where you can start to play. I could colour in an odd one of these daisies to make them look a little different. And just add a little colour to some of them. And you could also do things like rubbing on metallics. So if you have some metallics that you could do and rub in, or I've got some crayons here so I can add some little crayon bits. But really you don't have to do this as well. This is just extra stuff you can do if you want, but I think it actually looks really kind of nice just as it is. Now, this also lends itself to having some beautiful paper, some beautiful decorations on the top. Although you do like to have a look at it just like this. Now, this is beautiful if you do it on a art journal cover. Now I'm going to finish off my lovely page with some wording. So for me, I'm going to write colour. Now I do spell it with a U because I'm from Australia. Is, and then I want to write a big colour is. I love playing with words. So you could do words off your printer. But I'm going to use like that. Then I'm going to do a little bit of a line around it. Same as here. And then I'm going to cut on the line. So I still see the black line. Don't want to lose the black line, so don't cut it off completely. You can do this on your printer if you don't like to write. But I do have a lovely video on live art journaling and self-development on how to do lovely writing, so you might like to have a look at that as well. So I'm going to do colour is everything, like that. And I'm going to use my glue to stick that on. I want to kind of leave her eye peeking through, so I'm going to be really a bit challenged on where I'm going to stick this. Because I think one of the reasons I want to use these words is because I think we all see colour differently, and I think I really like, oops, I've just smudged that a little bit. I can fix that up with a bit of decoration. So it happens when you do things quickly. So I'm just doing colour is everything. And I have some lovely new butterfly die cuts that I've done. So these are artwork that I've done myself, which is watercolour butterflies. And I've created die cut stickers. So you can just peel your stickers off like that and use them on a page. And I'm going to do that. These are some others that of this group. Those are much easier to do, but these are some miscuts. So I'm just going to stick these on as well and just choose places. I don't want to cover the heart completely, but I really love the colourful butterflies, and I think the yellow and all of that goes really well. So if you like my butterflies, you can find them on my website, which is artshedangel.com. Again, the link will be in the bio, in the comments. So I have made a page in kind of record time, get rid of all the other things, just using my butterfly cutouts and doing a bit of mismatch of all those beautiful jelly prints that you have. So if you'd like to again subscribe to my page, say some comments and say that you've been here and you've liked what I've done. I have used a punch, but you can use you can just cut your squares, and I've used a Posca pen, a Signo broad, some matte medium, and that's pretty much what I've used to do this page. And I've done it in my Dilutions journal. Now it doesn't really matter what journal you do it in, but this is a fantastic way. If you have holiday photos that you might like to stick in a journal somehow, this is a great way to do it as well. But please follow me and have a look at my live videos with Jolene Payne on live art journaling and self-development on our Facebook group. Thank you so much. It's Lucy Campanue, Art Shed Angel. Thank you.